But Magic Johnson, here's the sound that has everybody in a tizzy.
He reached out to me, not to me directly, to the Lakers to find out if we can get together this summer. I said, hey, you got to clear it with the league. And he wants to know how to play the position as a big guard, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's fine. I will do that. But if everybody doesn't sign off, then we can't get together.
That is Magic, of course, talking about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has a lot of similarities to Magic Johnson. Obviously, 6'10", point guard. I think he plays a lot like Magic, including not being a great outside shooter. But Magic shot a lot better than Ben Simmons. Magic actually had a nice little set shot jumper.
I can't believe how Ben Simmons, the shots are so ugly, and then he doesn't even look to shoot.
And that's why, this weekend, and I think Colin talked about it on the Herd, what in the world is wrong with Ben Simmons?
Seriously.
I got to be honest. I think Ben Simmons took a step forward this last week.
Did you?
Just by taking the shots. And I don't think his form looks that bad. I think
there was some ugly shots in that game against the Lakers. I just looked at him and
he pulled up off a pick and roll, I believe it was, at the elbow and took a shot. The shot didn't look that bad. It just didn't go in.
Right.
And I remember I did a big story for him when we were at the other network before the draft, and we were in the gym and he was shooting. His form didn't look bad. They just never went in.
You said he shot like 100 shots and none of them went in?
Not quite 100, but he shot a lot of shots and he missed most of them. I mean,
that's crazy.
But it didn't. Again, it wasn't like, man.
Did you laugh at him?
No, come on. His form wasn't broken, but it just doesn't go in. But the fact that he took a three-pointer, has taken now, I think, 3 this year, all within the last few games. And the fact that he's starting to take the jumper, you got to keep the defense honest. And with him, I think a big part of it is a confidence thing. So the more he shoots, even if he's missing it, I think that's a step forward.
No, I got it. Because there is a confidence thing that goes. And when you're confident, you're not afraid. And then we look at a guy who's afraid to take the shot. And in the NBA, when you get an open look at the basket, you got to put it up. It's just that simple. You can't pass up open.
You can't play 4 or 5.
You can't do it. You can't. Not an open look because it's so hard to get open look.
Right. And he wants to learn from Magic, and I think he's right. Because one thing he lacks, even though he's a pretty good point guard, he lacks some of the natural instincts. Time and space, the clock, time and score. I mean. Where to get the ball to the guy at the right moment, running the offense, those natural instincts. I think Magic could help him with that. But he reached out to, Magic said they had to get permission from the Sixers, and this is Elton Brand's response to this whole situation.
Rob Pelinka called me and said, hey, we're hearing Ben wants to talk to Hall of Famers, championship-level players, and Magic's on the list. We need authorization for him to meet up. And I said no.
That was from Elton Brand, the GM for the Sixers, on our friend Anthony Gargano's show, 97.5, The Fanatic. Rob, and I'm just going to let you go after I say this, I agree 100% with Elton Brand. No. The Lakers have a history of tampering. I mean a recent history.
No, I don't disagree.
3 times in the last year
All
or so.
He needs to do is get over there and then get Simmons. Now, he's a part of the Clutch Sports, too.
Well, see, that's the...
No, you know what I'm saying.
It's not illegal. It's not wrong.
But I don't want...
But Rich Paul represents Simmons.
Right.
There's no doubt Rich, LeBron, Simmons, and they're friends. I mean, Rich is there, works for him, but they are all friends too.
Right, but I'm just saying, I'm with you on this. No way, no how. I don't want you dealing with Magic. I'll look in our 76ers and our former players.
Now, Mo does work. He's an assistant coach.
He's coaching.
City.
But I'll go through that and find somebody who's comparable to you who could help you out. But I would rather you not deal with the enemy. We're trying to beat them ultimately. And I just don't want you listening to Magic in this situation. If Magic was retired and not a part of another team, then that's something totally different. But as long as he's a a league GM and attached to another organization, I'm with you. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's not even, for me, it's not even, hey, he works for another team, he's the enemy. You're right, obviously, but, that's not my main concern if I'm Elton Brand. My main concern is tampering. Like, Magic is so charming and charismatic, and he gets Ben Simmons there and, working with him. And, it just, and, I mean, again, Magic's already tampered several times. Like, why would I? It's like, what was there a movie or something?
This is like how many times? 4 now? 4 times he's been.
It's 3. This is the 4th time they're being investigated, I guess. And so, no, it's just.
It's so,
just,
you know what?
No, you can't do
it's so bad when Magic Johnson goes into CVS, they follow him around because he might tamper with the aspirates.
Tracy Morgan is like sitting here. If he's listening, he's like, why did I ever send that text to Rob? Like, I've created a monster. All right?
Tamper with the
now
packages.
You just think you can say anything. And the league just fined. Look, this tampering thing is really, it's tough. Because, I mean, look, a lot of these guys have relationships. I mentioned Ben Simmons, Rich Paul.
But what about the big fine they gave the Milwaukee owner?
Being friends. They could obviously easily talk to each other about.
Well, you can't put it out there publicly.
Know?
But you can't put it out there publicly, which is what Magic did.
You can't talk publicly about other teams' players. Mark Lasry, owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, was just fined $25,000 for really a completely innocuous quote.
Because he just said something about that, it was cool that
we were on
AD,
Anthony's list.
Yeah, Anthony Davis's list. That's all he said.
To play for us. That's what we want. We want players thinking,
that Milwaukee is a destination, and that's not. He didn't say, I got to have Anthony Davis, but we got to lure him to Milwaukee. That's tampering.
If they find him, to me, they're going to have to find Magic again because you just can't talk that extensively about another team's player. And it's tough because here's the thing too, Rob. Team USA, where you got Greg Popovich as a coach. You've got other, I know Nate McMillan, at least in the past, if not now, is one of the assistant coaches, coach of the Indiana Pacers. Like, there are NBA types all over the place during USA basketball. And they're coaching you. They're giving you pointers. They're learning things about you. They're developing relationships with you. That could easily fall into tampering. It's a tough situation. And we talked earlier about, I guess, one thing you got to try to, you just can't do it publicly for sure.
No, definitely.
But it's a challenging situation. So, we'll see what happens with this situation with Magic. But we're in agreement. Elton Brand did the right thing. Just don't do it.